On everybody, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. We have a 12-game NBA slate tonight, an absolute jam-packed slate where you actually don't have a lot of news right now on the slate. It's making it a bit tough. I think with all these games, we'd have a lot of guys that look appealing, but some of these positions are kind of rough right now. We'll need some value to open up, but we'll go ahead and talk through it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Twitter, check out Prize Picks. You can use my code PROCESS for a deposit match. If you're signing up for the first time, you can check out Discord, the website, all that stuff is in the description. Last night, hit on Draftkings and cash games thanks to SGA, who continues to be awesome and nobody plays him. He was like 5% owned barely in some of the cash games on Draftkings and very low owned in tournaments as well. But he came through. He missed on FanDuel as I went with Kevin Durant as my pay up, and he did not do anything. But go ahead and talk about tonight's slate. Looking at the point guard picks today, you have Luka at 12-3 going up against the Knicks here. The Knicks coming off of a couple of wins over on the West Coast, coming back to face Luka in Texas. Luka's been playing great last couple of games here. Last game they missed Brunson, so got a little bit more ball handling duties. But he's great. Play anyways if it can always get to him. Without Porzingis, they really don't have anybody else star-wise. Now that Porzingis is with the Wizards, it's basically just a Luka Doncic show. Nobody else is really commanding a lot of usage on the team. You have Murray at 11-3, gives you triple-double upside. This price tag is probably the most expensive he's been all year. He's been deserving, but still it's a little bit tough for me to get to him. At 11-3, you're going to need at least like over 60. Like technically you need like 66 to feel really good about that price tag. I'm not looking at Trae Young much at 10-3. I go right back to SGA. Nobody plays him on DraftKings. Maybe they'll start to, but another monster game, 72 fantasy points. Almost had a triple-double. Even though they got blown out, he still got up to 35 minutes. Good matchup here against Minnesota. Expect SGA to continue to carry the team without Lou Dort, who's out for the season. They lost Ty Jerome for the season, Muscala for the season. And I don't believe we have an update on Josh Giddey yet. So I believe he's still been going to be missing some games here. Oh, yeah, he's out for a while, a couple of weeks. So it's going to be the SGA show. Continue to bet his over on points. Continues to be at like 26.5 on sportsbooks. He's hitting that easily. So SGA is going to be one of my favorite payups on the slate. Don't mind getting to Fox at 93. And then you have a couple of guys. So like if Devin Booker is back, you can play him against Miami, even though it's a tough matchup. But still no Chris Paul. Don't think Cam Johnson will play. So if Booker clears protocols, it's not like he was hurt or anything. He's just missing time due to the COVID protocols. Simons is 84. It's tough for me to get to him at that price tag if he does play. Going with maybe Van Fleet, I like him better. He should be playing today. They said he's expected to play. And we know Nick Nurse just throws guys right back into the fire. Going further down in the 6K range, you have like Campaign, a 50-point game out of him last night. Continues to play great ever since Chris Paul's been out and Devin Booker's missed. Even if Booker's back, I still expect Campaign to do good things because they'll probably stagger some of those guys' minutes. And he's been great with the assists, getting you a lot of usage, taking a lot of shots. And he should continue to start at point guard until Chris Paul is back. So SGA Campaign, 2 point guards that I really like. One expensive, one as a great value. They priced up Brendan Williams, so even if Simons is out, it's not like you're getting a great value there like we did last game where he was like $3,500 and was a great play. Further down here in 4K range, not seeing too much that I really like. 3K range, also going to have to wait on some news. Don't have too much. Maybe you can look to like Davion Mitchell, but not a lot that looks that appealing. Over at shooting guard, your pay up is Donovan Mitchell. Looks good against Portland. It's at home in Utah. Only concern you have is a big blowout, which is definitely possible. McCollum at 89. If Brendan Ingram continues to miss today as well on the back-to-back, then definitely you can get to CJ McCollum. Going further down here, 8K range, you have 3 guys right at 8,000. Jaylen Brown. Actually, 4 guys, Rozier, Brown, Cunningham, and Middleton. They all give you upside in their own sense. I'd probably go with like Brown as my favorite, Middleton second, Cunningham third, and then Rozier's fourth. Going into the 6K range here, now that Van Fleet is back, it's going to hurt some of the guys on Toronto, like Gary Trent and Scotty Barnes, and those guys. Their price tags have gone up. They're going to get less usage and a little bit less like shot attempts. So I don't have too much interest in those guys. In the value range here, you have a couple of guys like Reggie Bullock continues to play monster minutes for the Mavs. He played 34. We've seen him play over 40 the last couple of games here. He's super scoring dependent. If his shot is falling, he can be productive, but he does give you like big upside. So I think he makes sense as like a GPP play, especially if Brunson continues to be out today. And you have like Landry Shamet. If Devin Booker is out, then he looks like a good value. Over at small forward, another position that we're going to kind of wait on some of the news. LeBron James is questionable. If he doesn't play again, then you're going to be looking at like Malik Monk. Looking at, I don't even want to say Russell Westbrook, but I guess you could look to him. But I'd be looking at like definitely Malik Monk and look to some of the value, like maybe Carmelo Anthony or some of the other cheap guys that's going to be getting more minutes. Barrett is 82. He's been playing great, but the price tag is pretty expensive. I'm not looking to get to RJ Barrett today. Then like Josh Hart is too expensive at 77. And like Bridges is pretty expensive now at 68. Tough matchup against the Heat, so I'm not looking at a ton of these guys on Phoenix besides like Campaign and then like DeAndre Ayton. And then it's all going to depend on Devin Booker news. Pokuševski came off the bench last game with Wiggins starting, but still got up to 28 minutes. He is productive when he is getting those minutes, so he's a good GPP play. Going with in the 4K range, same kind of deal with like Reggie Bullock, potentially DeAndre Hunter at 48. 3K range here, not too much. We'll have to see if we get some news. Like McDermott gets some good minutes starting. Sometimes Wiggins does play a lot of minutes, but he's not super productive. So right now, shooting guard and small forward are pretty tough to like nail down some guys. So I'm leaving them blank. Power forward, you can go with Giannis against the Hawks. Should be a high-scoring game. You have only concern is a back-to-back for Milwaukee. Julius Randle's coming off his best game of his career. You could play him against the Mavs if you wanted to. Kuzma's too expensive now that Porzingis is there. Same thing with like Siakam. Butler's at a good price tag. Not looking at Bridges, Hart, Scotty Barnes, Porzingis should be limited still a little bit. Wendell Carter's a little bit too expensive. So the one guy you can look to is like Bagley, just because he's going to be starting at power forward. He's going to be starting at center with Stewart out. He played 36 minutes, started in place of Stewart in the second half. And it was pretty productive. This is his chance to make something out of it. He's had a lot of chances to prove himself. Probably won't get too much of a better chance than this with Stewart out for a while. At least a couple of games. So definitely like Bagley. And then you have another guy at power forward that should get good minutes once again with Grayson Allen, I believe, still being out for a bit. Oh, we'll see. Dealing with a hip, so actually I don't know if he's going to play. And I was going to say Jordan Nwora at his value, but if there's no Allen and Nwora starts again, you could look to him. He's only 35, but keep him on the pending list. At center, you have Jokic, looks awesome against Sacramento. Nobody can slow him down there. He's going to be going up against Sabonis. Speaking of Sabonis, you could play him against the Nuggets. He's 94. He got ejected, but he's actually been okay. Not doing as much scoring, which is a little bit surprising. He's doing good facilitating, but he's like getting you no defensive stats. 3 straight games with 0 blocks or steals. Something you definitely don't want out of a center. So I don't mind him, but I'd probably go down to like Rudy Gobert's at a good price tag against Portland. Also, you have the concern of a blowout, but this is an absolutely dream matchup for any center. They have nobody to slow him down. Going up against like Drew Eubanks, Gobert can pull down 20 rebounds here, get you a bunch of swats, get you like an easy double-double. So do you like Gobert with his pretty affordable price tag? And then another center you can look to is DeAndre Ayton. He's only 73. So going up against Miami, against Bam, and a big front court. Finally had a couple of big games recently. Even if Booker's back, they're going to need him in the middle to anchor that offense in the middle and to anchor the defense a bit. So against Bam, it's a tough matchup, but still like Ayton the way that he's been playing recently, looking a little bit more aggressive. And then the last guy I'll plug in is I'll probably go back to shooting guard and put in Reggie Bullock just as like a pending guy. Just because he plays a lot of minutes, he can get hot and put up over 30. And it is a revenge spot. So not too much to like. I'll probably look to upgrade that position once we get some more news throughout the day. But that's about it for DraftKings. Let's go over to FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel, starting with the point guard picks today, you have Luka. Once again, a great price tag. He's only $400 more than SGA. So as much as I love SGA, can't really play him over Luka. And then you have Murray is cheapest out of that 3. So Murray also looks pretty appealing. 95 for Trae Young looks fine. And then you have Donovan Mitchell at 84. Looks pretty solid. You can go with Russell, some of these guys. Great matchup here. LaMelo Ball's price tag is cheap, but they got blown out against the Nets last night, and his minutes have kind of been a little bit fluctuating. But Van Fleet at 73 looks like a great play. Guess you could go to Westbrook if LeBron sits again, but Campaign looks good at 68. Cole Anthony at 61 maybe without Jalen Suggs again, but you definitely know that Fultz is out. So those are the main pieces. Don't know if I need to go cheaper than that. At shooting guard, you can look to pay up for SGA as well here, but I'm going to go ahead and put in Campaign. McCollum looks good if Ingram is out again, but I like Payne. Shooting guard that you can play at. You're getting a point guard that you're playing at shooting guard, so that's great. It opens up a little bit more upside, and he's just been playing great basketball. Should continue to do that without Chris Paul. Wagner as like a cheap play at 57 looks fine. Burks starting looks okay, and then Shamet is kind of expensive on FanDuel. I'd rather get him on DraftKings. A small forward like Giannis, a lot at 11.9. If LeBron plays, easy matchup against Houston. Against only 10-4, he would be one of the best, or one of a number of good spend ups on FanDuel. Mid range, Cam Johnson. Hopefully we get his news early in the day. But Edwards is only 63. He said he's gonna play. So he's way too cheap on FanDuel. Play him. You can play Josh Hart, but I'd rather get to Edwards. $400 more. Josh Hart and that team has been a bit frustrating to roster. Value wise, Carmelo if there's no LeBron. Morris is down to just 46. He's been struggling, but that price tag is getting crazy low. Over at power forward, like Giannis as a pay up, LeBron 87 for Sabonis looks pretty appealing. Siakam is only 83, so even with Van Fleet coming back, that's a pretty easy price tag to get to. You can go Jeremy Grant at 64, and then you have like Bagley at 57. Put in Bagley just because should be getting a lot of rebounding opportunities today against Chicago, starting at center, and if he gets like 34, 35 minutes again, won't take much for him to hit value. You also have Morris, like I mentioned. Bogdanovich is only 47. Gordon at 49. A lot of good options here that we can look to. And then at center, basically deciding if you want to pay up for Jokic or not. Easy to get to Jokic and Luka with their price tags on FanDuel almost any day, and today is no different. Gobert at 77 looks appealing, and then Ayton at 72. But we have some value, some of these spots. So look to get to Jokic here at center at 11.5, just with all the upside it gives you. You're going to have to go with some value to fill it out, but we'll probably get some more throughout the day. Don't have a ton right now, but with it being 12 games, we'll definitely get some news. And that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.